Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus again, early this morning. You know, as a citizen within this country, like most of us, we only know a little bit about what is going on. Whether we get our information from the main media or whether we get it from the social media where we hear every approach to a story. And we only sometimes can associate that which we already have assumed is the outcome or the answer to that someone else says. But it doesn't matter. We all got something to say, and it's disagreeable in most instances, but the reality of it is the pain, the suffering that is experienced by the innocent people, that's caused by those who wants to prove themselves superior to others. They want to be the ones to control, the ones who make the decisions, the ones that force that the decisions are made. And they're willing to go to almost any extremes. And I can't think of anything more extreme than a war where you're killing innocent people, where you're killing innocent babies, women, pregnant women, old people, bombing churches, bombing hospitals. Death is the name of your game. Power by death. Power by death. When you see the tanks roll in, bringing the munitions, when you see the planes flying over, controlled by death. To me, that sounds like it's something that's anti what I understand as being God. I don't see God having to do these kinds of things. I mean, sometimes I see hurricanes, I hear of them, or earthquakes, I hear things like that. We call them natural disasters. Something that you could say that maybe God controlled or caused to happen or had something to do with, because we can't see our impact that much. But to pull up a bomb, make these explosive devices that will take so many lives and destroy so much property, that's the decisions of men and how they plan to control. And what we see happening in the world is exactly the result of men. And it says that men have said that there is no God that they have to give themselves to. In most parts of the world, if you got enough money, you claim yourself to be God. You hold yourself as the richest man in the world. You should be ashamed of yourself with all this poverty and violence and stuff that's a result of this. And you walking around talking about nobody got as much money as you. Nobody got as much money as your family. Nobody got as much money as your gender or your race. And you're walking around bold, bragging about it, causing all of this pain and suffering because you're ignorant, because you're stupid, because you don't know any better. And when someone comes and tells you anything outside of that which conforms to your accepted way, then it's whatever you want it to be, but it's not real. I don't know too much about Israel except what I've heard. When we talk about the Palestinians, I don't know too much about them beyond what I've heard. But what I do know that there are people on both sides, men and women, old and young. And I do know that every last one of them want to live. And I know that the strife and stuff that's going on is because there are people who are in charge who wants to prove that they are superior and got the rights. And I know that there are others that go along with that because they want to be a part of what they call the power base. And there are others who just feel that there's nothing that they can do, so they just go along to get along. And then they suffer as well. But then there are the others who really think they have no voice because no one listens to them. Because whenever some pain and suffering is to come to town, it stops at their address. And then you got the rest of the world. You got the rest of the world sitting around watching. They see you choose sides with one part of the crookedness, whether it's in what's going on now or what was going on yesterday or what's going to be going on tomorrow. Choosing sides. There's one righteous side, my friends, and that is to make sure that the basic human rights of every individual is respected. And if you're not doing that, everything you're doing is on the evil side. You can talk about the ugliness that you are not doing and that someone else is doing. You can talk about it all day. You can talk about it all night. But at the end of the day, at the end of the night, if it exists, exists by your inability or your refusal to commit yourself to change it. Talking won't do it. Oh, it plays a role, but no action, and it is dead. So I'm saying, while we hear about a bomb going off and falling in a hospital and killing, you can imagine who's in a hospital. That's really sad. That's sad on the Palestinians. That's sad on the Jewish people. Doesn't matter who pulled the trigger. It's sad. But it's not just sad for those two. It is sad for the rest of the world. Rest of the world. And amongst you, you call, or should I say there are many of you who call yourselves humans. There are many of you who call yourselves above the wild animals. There are many of you who say that you are somebody. But the war goes on. The fire still burns. And who, my friends, is putting out that fire? Who is trying to put out that fire? I'm not talking about adding fuel to the fire, but I'm talking about putting it out. And if you're not, well, I guess you can live with it. And it's on you. But ladies and gentlemen, I want you to know this. You can go along with the crowd if you choose, but if the crowd is wrong, so are you.